Open marriage request. My ex-wife, who nearly offed me after convincing me to go vegan, cheated on me, then suggested an open marriage. Needless to say, I'm divorced now. I know I made a lot of mistakes in my marriage. I'm here to say that at least I learned. Yes, I learned the hard way, but I learned indeed. Most of my life I've been into working out. I've never been an expert on nutrition. I just ate in moderation and exercised regularly. Just a well-balanced meal. It's how I was raised, and my dad was a semi-pro wrestler and a coach for the wrestling team at a D2 college. My dad's dream was to make it as a superstar before he started coaching, but that never happened for him, but from what he tells me. He is still a happy man and lived a wonderful life. My father was big in working out and eating a balanced meal. When I met my ex-wife, I'll call her V. I learned right away that she was a vegan, so I met her at a park early morning. I'd frequent on Saturdays some morning to watch the sun rise over a mound that's pretty popular here in our city. She was there doing the same, and usually I'd be the only one there doing this. Occasionally, one or two people would show some days, but this day, V was there. V walked over to the bench I was sitting at and complimented my physique. She said she loved my arms walking up towards the bench. I'd never in my life had a woman walk up and compliment my arms or anything at all. I've had men ask me about gym exercises, etc., and compliment me, but this was the first time a woman even shot her shot at me ever in life. So I was very flattered because V is a beautiful woman, and she has an amazing body. I don't know if it's the diet or not. It must be because she does not work out at all. We've tried a few times together and she runs out of energy. When V complimented me, I thanked her and asked her if she'd like to join me. We talked and watched the sunrise. She kept insisting that I try her coffee. She kept telling me how it didn't have any dairy in it and how delicious it was without animal products. She then asked me about my leather bracelet. She told me that she was going to be nice because she likes me, but I should consider stopping the support of offing animals. Now, true story, in the beginning of the email, I mentioned how I made a ton of mistakes. This was the first. I should have never given V my number or took her seriously at all. Nothing against any vegan out there. I truly don't care. Whatever floats your boat is fine. It was the fact that V judged me so hard, making me feel bad for wearing my gifted woven leather bracelet. This was just the beginning. V left the park before I did, but before she left, she asked me for my number and said that she'd like to talk to me and get to know me a little more. Guys, before she left, she actually did apologize for making me feel bad about wearing leather or eating animal products. She recognized that it was rude and she apologized. I think that helped with wanting to see her again. Also, she was attractive, but that's not a good reason, and that's just another mistake I made, because someone's beauty doesn't mean you should ignore any other red flag they might be waving in your face. Again, like I said, I have nothing against vegan, but it's just people who are just super judgmental, sort of like very religious people who just judge you for everything you do. It doesn't seem right. So I enjoyed my morning, went straight to the gym, and had my first meal afterwards. Luckily, she called me right around the time I was preparing my first meal because I'm pretty strict on when I eat. She was asking me if I'd like to go to dinner, and she knew a place downtown, and of course I knew it was going to be vegan, and I was okay with that. I have my food at home that I could eat if I'm still hungry because I figured I'd still be hungry. But I agreed to meet her. I thought it was okay, and she was adamant up front saying she wanted to go Dutch, and I was okay with that. I thought that was cool. I wasn't used to it, but I liked it, so we ended up meeting that evening at a spot called Tree Hugger Kitchen. When we met at the door after parking, she was so excited telling me how happy she is to show me this restaurant because I never heard of it. She said it's one of her favorites. They have amazing, amazing food. She just talked up all the stuff on the menu telling me, oh, you should try this. Maybe we should get multiple things. I'll pay a little more. I just want you to try everything. It's like she was really trying to sell me on this food. I wasn't against it. I was okay. I didn't think it would be gross or anything. She suggested we start off with an appetizer, and it was some loaded nachos, and just the sound of it. I got so excited, loaded nachos, and I quickly remembered we were at a vegan restaurant. It was served with jackfruit and a bunch of other things. It actually was really good, but it just wasn't satisfying, but the taste was good. Anyway, we order our food and we're just talking, and she's telling me how long she's been a vegan. Why she became a vegan? Because of health reasons. She had some type of eczema issues and something with her gut. She's telling me how this vegan lifestyle has repaired her and she's healthier than ever. I will say at dinner, she wasn't judging me anymore. I told her I never really considered veganism. I let her know that I love my meat. Pause. Steaks and potatoes. I love pulled pork and chicken and things like that. I can see her face turned a little bit, but she kept a smile. It was kind of a fake smile, and I will say this is just something she strongly believes in, but it's just the fact that you're trying to force people to join your lifestyle. It's not right. What's good for you isn't good for everybody else. I truly do believe that some people can thrive on a vegetarian or vegan diet. I believe that some people can thrive on a carnivore diet, but a lot of people also thrive on a balanced diet. Everybody wants to pull each other in one direction. Join my team. No, join my team. My team is better. I think we all can agree that overeating processed food is an issue. Heck, overeating anything is an issue. My doctor told me this while I was 15 years old. Overeating anything. It's just bad, and that's what a lot of people do. Overeat. But I get it. Humans in general always just want to belong to something. Some kind of group, and if you're outside of that group, then they're going to judge you. I get it. I do get it. The desire to belong is a fundamental part of human nature. This need to belong is a psychological need that drives people to form and maintain positive social bonds and interpersonal relationships. It's a motivation to affiliate with others and be socially accepted, and it's significant for our overall well-being and development. Most people satisfy their need to belong by joining groups. I bet you guys are wondering why I ended up marrying this woman. Well, I will say, it helped that she stopped judging me so much. Of course, she'd throw out little comments suggesting that I change, but I just wasn't ready to. But eventually, she convinced me, and it was the worst 30 days of my life. I was sent to the hospital, my first time being in the back of an ambulance. V and I dated for a total of 2 years before I proposed to her. We didn't clash at all as far as our diets go and our lifestyle. We lived separately. We'd go out and have a good time. She'd make sure she did vegan options or ask the waitress to have the cooks prepare her meals a certain way without certain products. It just wasn't a big deal. I got used to it. We just got used to each other. Make little comments here and there. If I had a steak, she'd just say, "Yeah, I'm not kissing you for another 3 days. Hey, if you're going to have bacon in the morning, make sure you brush very, very well. I don't want to kiss and smell it." I got used to it. I just make a little jokes about it, but within the 2 years, I've met her family and she met my family. Everybody knew we were going to marry because besides that different lifestyle, we actually got along very well. One thing I really wanted her to be a part of was my exercising routine every day. Exercise is a very, very important thing to me. It's something I enjoy doing. Yes, it helps the body stay healthy and things like that, but I really enjoy doing it. Even if it's just a walk at the park, but she was never really up for it. I'd want to walk a few miles at the trail. Within 1 mile, she's ready to sit down and head back to the car. It's so interesting because she's not a big girl. Some vegans are heavy, but she's a very slim woman. Very nice body, but her energy levels weren't as high. And I think I understand the lack of calories and things like that. I experienced it when I tried to for 30 days. It was the worst. I had no energy. My heart felt like it was going to pound out of my chest because I was lacking certain nutrients. I just wasn't eating enough. I would pile down the food, stuffing myself with spinach and all types of stuff, and it wasn't enough. Protein in this plant, and there is iron in this plant, but my body just wasn't absorbing it up. I suck up nutrients better when it comes from an animal product. She couldn't seem to understand that. She'd say things like, well, I just ate it and I feel just fine. I would feel horrible, but before I get to that time, I proposed to her and we got married. It was a beautiful wedding. This is when we had our biggest serious arguments. Yays with no bickering and fighting, maybe a little attitude here and there. But when they came to choosing the food that was going to be at the party after the wedding, it became an argument between her and I, but our families got involved. So a lot of the wedding party, most of those girls were vegan, and they were her friends. Her sister was there, but her sister wasn't a vegan, but they all insisted, saying, oh no, we shouldn't have both vegan food and non-vegan food. Let's do vegan. It's healthier anyway. One of the girls said that. I had a cousin in the room and he said, no, let's just do both, or we could do non-vegan food. You guys can just not eat the meat. Most of us at the party are meat eaters. We aren't guys. The friend pulled out her phone, just started showing us how cows get slaughtered and chickens get slaughtered, what they have to go through for us just to eat it. It got ridiculous, and it actually turned into a shouting match. My female cousin was not having it and said that it's not up to them to make the decision. It's between me and V. I told V we should just do both, which would cost more, or we just do non-vegan. You guys pick around the food. V starts crying, telling me this is her special day. She can't believe she has to deal with this from me. I should just give her what she wants. I didn't like that response. Because it's not her day. It's our day. She couldn't seem to understand. Again, guys, I know I made mistakes putting up with this bull crap. Ultimately, we went with both options, vegan and non-vegan. It all seemed to work out. We had our wedding. It was beautiful. I would admit, I always wanted to be married and have a family. She cried as well, and we all just enjoyed the party. Everyone has their food, and it all worked out. It wasn't as pricey as we thought it was going to be because we were actually told it would be more pricey if we did that. The number of vegans that were there just wasn't that significant, so it kind of worked itself out. So V and I stayed married for 1 year, 3 months before I filed for divorce. I should have never married this woman. Her neediness, her controlling attitude. The whining was just too much, and it turned up once we finally got married. We both had a career, so it's not like she was marrying me for my money or anything. We split the bill straight down the middle. We ended up moving into her place. I had an apartment that I was comfortable living in. I didn't own anything, but she owned her home. It was a small home. It was a 2-bedroom home, really nice attic, though we used it for office space. Worked out for us. So immediately, once we were married, I told V I wanted a child. I wanted a baby, so we started trying. The glove came off, meaning I took off the condom. We tried, and it just wasn't happening. Eventually, we go to the doctor, and of course, we discover that she has issues, and that was nutrient deficiency. The doctor started telling her different vitamins she should take after learning about the vitamins that she was taking. The doctor wanted to swap out some things and see how it would work for her. That's another reason why I never wanted to try this vegan thing, because I'm not a big supporter of popping vitamins and nutrients and stuff that you can just get from food. And that's also how I ended up in the hospital listening to my ex-wife. Oh, you're not going to need vitamins. You'll be fine. Just eat this amount and eat that amount. It was loads of greens and all types of food, and they just was not working for me at all. So in the midst of trying to have a child, we talked about what diet we would want our child on. Of course, I would want my child to be on a well-balanced diet, but she was pretty adamant about our child being a vegan, and she told me I should at least just try for 30 days. Just give it a shot. 30 days won't hurt. I listen, guys. I listen to her. Tell me, oh, you don't need vitamins. Here, just take this. This will be enough. And I started doing research, and I kept finding what I guess I was looking for. I was basically putting in the YouTube search. Things like how to thrive on a vegan diet, how to get enough protein on a vegan diet, how to get iron on a vegan diet, things like that. So I thought I planned everything out, and she helped me. We prepared food and everything. Day 1, I felt good. But about day 4, I was struggling. I didn't want to get out of bed. I had massive headaches. I could not work out. And I decided early that I wasn't going to work out these 30 days because I just knew my body wasn't getting the fuel that it needed. Me working out would just make things worse because actually week 3, I did try to work out and I almost passed out. So I'm trying to diet at night. I can't sleep. My legs are just kicking everywhere. I'm kicking and she's waking up angry and I just can't control myself. It's like every time I try to go to sleep, I jerk and wake back up. I just couldn't stay still. I learned when I got sent to the hospital on week 4 and I had low nutrients. I needed all types of nutrients. It was ridiculous. My body wasn't taking in any of these nutrients from the food I was eating at all. I was on an IV and some other stuff for most of the night. Late night at the hospital. V was there next to me, telling me everything was going to be fine. Let's just hear what the doctor says. The doctor literally looked me in my face and he told me, stop this vegan diet. You're going to off yourself. Oh, because I wanted to listen to my ex-wife. That night I was sent home and I was to follow up with my primary care doctor to go over more blood work, but I told my wife, I said, go straight to Waffle House. I've never had Waffle House in my life, but I knew they had meat there. I make her go inside with me. I order myself steak and eggs. I get some grits, butter, and water. I also ordered a side of bacon, guys. I felt amazing immediately. The first thing I ate was the steak. It's not the best steak at Waffle House. They don't have prime steak or good quality steak, I'm sure. I'm sure it's some bottom shelf stuff, but it worked. It's like a cloud lifted from me. And this was before I even finished my food. I felt so good. And I'm looking at V and she's just disgusted. How can you eat this? I tell her I feel amazing. It's working immediately. This is not a placebo thing, guys. I felt it. V told me right then and there that she believes that our marriage is going to be very hard. If I can't get over eating meat, I told V that vegan lifestyle just isn't for me. She just rolled her eyes and sat there and drank some water. That ride home, I felt so amazing. We got home around 5:30 a.m. and I went straight to bed and slept like a baby. A fat baby that just got its belly full. Life went on. I thought everything was going to be good. V acted as if she was okay with me eating meat again, which didn't matter because I was going to do it anyway. And if she told me she wanted a divorce right then and there because I'm eating meat, I would have given her the divorce. Our marriage went on. We kept trying to have children, and it just wasn't working. She kind of didn't listen to the doctor. The doctor wanted her to swap out certain vitamins and supplements that she was taking, but she was okay and happy with what she had been taking. And she liked how she was doing things. So our wedding anniversary is when bullcrap started to happen. By this time, V just seemed like she was not invested in our marriage. Intimately, she fell back. It's almost as if she didn't care about how my day went and how I felt it was all about her and her needs when she wanted to have sex. When we'd have sex, I wanted to have sex. She had every excuse in the book. Our anniversary, I tried to make it very romantic. I got us a nice room, but she had an attitude the entire day as if she could have been doing something better than spending time with her husband on our anniversary. I even did the things that she wanted to do as far as restaurants and picking vegan food. And I even ate vegan food that day. She wasn't happy. I could tell she was just done. I think she really wanted to convert me into a vegan and have a marriage with another vegan partner. So 2 months after our anniversary, V comes to me and says that we need to talk about something, and it's very important. I said, okay, let's talk. We sat down. I grabbed us some bottles of water and she just starts chatting. V. Well, I want you to know that I truly love you. You're a great guy. We have a lot of fun together, but I have to be honest. I haven't been happy in this marriage. I tried to say something, but she stopped me. I do care about you and I still do love you. I'm not too sure. I'm in love with you anymore. I just thought our marriage would be different. I thought we would be on the same page. That being said, I don't want a divorce at all. I didn't get married to get a divorce, but I do think that we should probably consider opening up our marriage. You'll be grateful. Both of us, we can find people that are more like us but still have each other, you know? Me. I don't think so. I don't do the whole open marriage thing. I have noticed that you have checked out of our marriage for quite some time now, and I wouldn't be surprised if you were seeing someone else. I never question you when you stay out late, or you have to work late, or you say that you're going out with your girlfriend. I don't want to put myself in a position to go spying and snooping, but I probably should have because I'm pretty sure you've been seeing someone else. But there's no point in me looking right now because with that question that you asked me, it's grounds for divorce. We're getting a divorce. I'm not staying married to you. V. Did you hear anything? I said, I still love you. I still want to be with you. I don't want a divorce. Why are you talking about a divorce? Me. V, take care. You can be with whoever you want to be with. I'll get my things and I'll be out within 3 days. I ended up leaving the house and I stayed with my parents. I told them what was going on and my dad told me he's there for me. If I need anything, just let him know. I told him that I needed his truck so I can pack all my things the next day. Dad gave me his truck, drove me over actually. We grabbed my stuff, I was out of there. Eventually found a lawyer and I filed for divorce. I told her I filed and she sent me this crazy text message. V. Are you freaking kidding me? I told you I do not want a divorce. We're not getting a divorce. I'm not signing anything. You're wasting your time. V was served divorce papers. The day she was served, she texted me again begging me to reconcile. Let's try counseling. She doesn't care that I eat meat. She can get over it. All this bullcrap. I was done because in my head, she has already been cheating on me. Why are you asking me for an open marriage? I didn't sign up for that. I want out. I should have never married her from the very beginning. The morning I met her, on that day when I was watching the sunrise, I should have never given her my number. I should have never gone out with her. But here I am, not wanting to be judgmental, getting with someone who was very judgmental and ultimately disrespected me in the end. I know the mistakes I made. This is the end. V was not signing anything. And the judge made us go to counseling for a minimum of 6 months. 6 whole freaking months. This was grueling and annoying. We have these counseling sessions and we would just cry, and every single one of them, V is telling me and the counselor how much she loves me and how she doesn't want to lose me. And she wants to have my child. We even talked about the open marriage request. The therapist told me that I am still overreacting over this because, as a married couple, we should be able to talk about anything, bad or ugly. I shouldn't judge her for this question, and she's apologetic for it, and she doesn't want to open marriage anymore. I told this counselor that means that my wife more than likely was cheating on me. The counselor told me to prove it. Guys, we're sitting in this counseling session, and I asked my wife to hand me her phone and unlock it. She looked at me and says, "No, if you love me, you trust me." I look over at the counselor, and the counselor freaking agrees with my wife. But I told the counselor, well, I can't prove it. I'm not about to hire a PI or anything, but I know something is in that phone that will prove that my wife has cheated on me before the counselor starts questioning me. So are you pretending like you didn't go through her phone before and you know something's in there? Why are you so sneaky? You never trusted your wife in the first place. Why would you marry her? This woman put everything on me as if I was this terrible person. This was the most grueling 6 months ever. I couldn't stand going to this counselor. She beat me up every time, and every time we'd go, V would cry. Getting all types of sympathy from this woman. You know how many times this woman offered V a water and completely ignored me. I'd have to ask for one. This was just ridiculous. We ended up completing the 6 months of counseling. I did not want to stay married to her. The judge had a long talk with V and her lawyer, and they eventually signed the papers. We had one hearing after that, and V was sad the entire time, again crying. Everything was eventually finalized, and by that time, we had been married almost 2 years, just a huge waste of my time. At first, I used to question, why do I have to go through that? What lesson was I taught? Honestly, it was all my fault. I knew exactly what I was getting into, and I ignored things. So prior to V, I hadn't had the best relationship. Yeah, I've been cheated on, and I walked in on someone cheating on me. That pretty much left me with bad PTSD and trust issues, but I wanted to, I guess ignore all my feelings, everything that I built up. You know, the gut feelings and everything and intuition, and I ignored it. Not because she was some gorgeous woman, but I desperately just wanted a family, and I didn't want to judge this woman I was getting with. This woman who was just judging me all the time. Anyway, it was my fault for what I went through. I'm not here to blame anyone else. I just want to share my story. That's it. That's all.
Wow, dude. I love when you guys come out and say, listen, I was the problem. I'm not here to blame her and him and them. It was me. I ignored all the red flags. Because, sir, you did. From the very beginning. Her criticizing you. You shouldn't support offing animals. Ma'am, what are you talking about? I'm trying to change your diet, change your ways. She sent you to the hospital. Trying to push her lifestyle onto you. You need to eat this. You need to eat that. You should live this way. You should live that way. It's my life. Why can't I do, as long as I'm not breaking a law, why are you complaining about how I live my life? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'm going to catch you guys at the next one.